welcome back to Socks and Sandals. And today, to cap off 2025, I thought I would do a game room tour. My game room is, comparatively small to a lot of the other YouTubers, but as you can see, I do have a pretty decent size Xbox 360 collection, as well as some other games and collectibles and stuff like that. So I thought I would just, give a tour. So I think first things first, we're going to start with the smallest collection and then move up to, of course, the piece de resistance. And then I'll go over, some of my heavy hitters, and my collectibles and all that good stuff. So let's get to it. You'll have to excuse probably the bad audio. I don't have a lapel mic, and since I moved my computer out of this room to, make room for more 360 games, I don't have the desk mic either. So we're just using the camera microphone. But here we are at one of my smaller shelves. Down here on the bottom, I've got a few Nintendo properties. I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan, but we've got Skate or Die down here for the NES. I only have that because I am a skateboarding fan, and that was when Whatnot was like the new hotness, so I got on there and got that. And then this is Tomb Raider Curse of the Sword on Game Boy Color. I was trying to get all of the Tomb Raider games that there were. I think the only one I'm actually missing is Tomb Raider. It's on the Game Boy Advance. I can't remember the name of it. That's the only Tomb Raider game I don't have. And then we've got Metroid Samus Returns. I got this off of Mercari. It's actually in my 3DS. I got it off of Mercari with the strategy guide, I think for like $30, so I don't think that was a bad deal. And for some reason, this is like $80. I don't know if maybe CLZ, maybe there's like a big box version of this or something, but it's like $80 on my CLZ app. And as you can see there, if it'll focus, I paid $18.95 for it at Game Exchange. So I don't know why. I have to think that there's like a big box version of that. And then I've got like some Wii games, Driver, Parallel Lines, Zumba Core, which I won off of Whatnot for like, they were doing those like roulette wheels, and I won that. And but we also have Eternal Darkness on the GameCube. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan, so I don't really play a lot of Nintendo. And then next up, we've got PS1. So I have all of the Cool Borders 1, 2, 2001, 3, and 4 for PS1. I used to have 2001 on PS2, but I don't have a working PS2, so I sold all of my PS2 games. And then we've got Fear Effect and Fear Effect 2. I like the art style of those. I haven't played them yet. Apparently Fear Effect 1 got like a re-release through Limited Run that I didn't know about. I didn't even know they were re-releasing it. So that's something. And I've got Crash Bandicoot, which this apparently scanned as the Black Label version on my CLZ, but clearly it's the Greatest Hits version. Apparently the Black Label is like $60. And for whatever reason, I think I bought those off of Amazon or eBay. But so I've got Crash 2, but the back part of it is just from Crash Bandicoot. So, I don't know. And then this copy of Warped is out of the triple pack. yeah, it's part of a set, but, you know, Crash Bandicoot is probably my favorite PlayStation IP. Also got Crash Bash that I got off of, or I got it from a thrift store. That was like one of my coolest finds at a thrift store. And then this Crash Team Racing I actually stole from a schoolmate when I was in junior high. So, you know, that's something. But probably like my biggest game for the PS1, you can see it there. This is a this is a reprinted. This is not the actual artwork. It doesn't have the manual. This is a reprint. See, it's literally just that, and then the ad. But the disc is real. Paid $160 for the loose disc, which I think it's drastically gone up now, but it's pretty alright. As you can see, it used to be property of Blockbuster, but yeah, that's probably one of my most expensive games that I own. I would like to play it one day. I also have the Clock Tower, what is it? Rewind for the Series X that I'd like to play, but then we've got PSP. Most of my PSP games are Japanese imports. I've got like 3 Hatsune Miku games. I've got 3 Hatsune Miku games there. I've got the K-On! I've got this Lucky Star, which I didn't know existed. I got that off of Lashing Bang. And then Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Sorry about these. These are all of my like convention lanyards. I have them hanging off of a shelf above it. But yeah, we got Shattered Memories on the PSP. It's it's some sort of European version, but it plays in English, so I just wanted to play it. So I bought it that way, because the like PS2, I don't have a PS2 anyways, but it's like way expensive. But then we've got the Danganronpa Decadence. I used to have the Let's Go Eevee Switch with Pikachu and Eevee on it, and I sold it, but my original copy of Danganronpa Decadence was in it, so I had to rebuy a loose cart. And then we've got Senran Kagura Peach Ball. This is literally the only game I've finished on the Switch. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a Nintendo person, so that's my Nintendo stuff. Nintendo and PS1. And then up here above, we've got the original Xbox. I'm not, you know, I've just been collecting original Xbox that interests me. Like up here we've got a pretty, you know, tarnished copy of Cold Fear, but a survival horror game, so I wanted to check that out. And then I used to have Fatal Frame for the PS2, but I bought the Xbox copy because it's backwards compatible on 360, so you can play the original Fatal Frame. So I sold my PS2 copy after I bought that. And then we've got Fatal Frame 2, the Crimson Butterfly, which they're releasing a remake of that for the Series X. So that's cool. Because I've played the original Fatal Frame. I played it on PS2 before the channel got deleted. We had a playthrough on it. But I haven't played Fatal Frame 2, and then I've played Maiden of Blackwater. I haven't played the Mask of the Lunar Eclipse or whatever. But, yeah, not too many, you know, Xbox heavy hitters or anything like that. I don't have, you know, what the hell was it, Outrun 2006. But we've got this cool Dead or Alive Ultimate with Dead or Alive 1 and 2. That's pretty neat. But yeah, that's then I've got, you know, I'm missing Tony Hawk's Underground, but I got Pro Skater 3, Pro Skater 4, Underground 2. I also don't have 2X, but then I've also got this this again waterlogged copy of Sudeki. We've got Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, which is an all-time classic. One of my childhood games there. I mean, that game's not from my childhood. I originally had it on the PS2, but definitely a favorite game from my childhood. And then we got Red Ninja. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the. And then there's like Whacked, which is the only reason I bought this, is the like obscene little thing there with the sensor bars. That's the only reason I bought it. I didn't know it was like a party game. I thought it was a platformer. But yeah, so that's like my smallest collection. So we'll move on to PS3, PS4, PS5, which again is pretty small, and then we'll get to all of the Xbox One, Series X, and 360 stuff. So here we are at the PlayStation shelf. I actually sold a lot of my PlayStation stuff. Most of my PS3 games, my PS4. I haven't had a lot of PS5, but I am like an Xbox stan, especially since I'm trying to go for a full 360 set. So a lot of my PS4 games that I only bought, there was just a bunch of PS4 games that I was probably never going to play. So what's left on the shelf here is stuff that I really enjoyed on the PS4 or actually have an inclination to play. So A Hat in Time I really thought was fun, and then AI Somnium Files, Akiba's Trip. I haven't finished Undead and Undressed, so I kept that. The first Blue Reflection was one of my favorite games on the PS4. It's one of the that and Akiba's Trip are like a few of 10 games that I've gotten all of the trophies for. And then I've got the Blue Reflection Second Light there. Chaos Child is another game I got all the trophies for. This is Four Goddesses Online, Neptunia. I have the digital version. This is the Japanese version, but this is another game I got all the trophies for. And the North American version of that is, I don't know, like $60. So while on Washing Bang, I paid, I think, like 500 yen for that. But yeah, we've got Ultra Despair Girls, which is my favorite Danganronpa game. Have all the trophies for that. We've got Date Alive, which is one of my favorite animes. I haven't finished this. It's like a visual novel. And then we've got Hatsune Miku, which I do actually have a want to get all of the trophies for this. It's a pretty difficult rhythm game, but you can buy some of the outfits off the store that give you like stat buffs during the songs. So I might pay to win on that one. And then we've got Little Witch no Beta, which I've heard is like an anime Dark Souls, so I wanted to play that. And then a lot of these other games, I did actually like try to trade some of these in. But this is the Little Witch Academia game. I really enjoyed the anime, so I think I bought that off of Amazon Japan a long time ago. I didn't try to sell that, but this is Kondagawa Jet Girls, another anime I liked. I have the collector's edition of that. And this one, I did try to sell this. This is the Idolmaster. platinum stars. There might be a video on this on the channel. I think I paid like 200 yen for the collector's edition of that off of Lashing Bang. And this one is one of my more expensive PS4 games. It's Natsu Idu High School. And then, there it is. All of that below it is the literal title of the game. It's a dating sort of thing, like a dating sim. You pick your heroine and all of that. But I've got Nier Automata, which is another game I have all the trophies for. Basically, a lot of the games I've kept are games that I have all of the trophies for. We've got One-chan Bada Z2 Chaos. Bought that at Game Exchange like a long time ago. I don't have the receipt for it anymore, but I think it was like $7, and now that's like a $60 game. And then I'm a big Persona fan, so I've got the dancing games. I don't really like the way the rhythm minigame works in that, or the rhythm game mechanics. Like the notes come in from the side of the screen. I prefer like from the bottom. And then we've got the Rise of the Tomb Raider 20th year celebration. Again, I'm a big Tomb Raider fan. I wish Xbox got this version of it, but you know, it's got the art book and stuff, so I think that's really neat. So I wanted that. I also have this on the Xbox One, but I just like this version of it. And then we've got another Senran Kagura game. It's the was it Blast Renewal? That one's pretty cool. I found that at I think it's called Recharge Electronics. It's in Dallas. I probably won't go in there anymore because they don't even have an Xbox section. And then we've got the Peach Beach Ball, or Peach Beach Splash. I have the collector's edition of that. We've got White Day, Labyrinth Called School. It's pretty good, pretty cool survival horror game. And these are kind of made redundant now, since I just pre-ordered all of the Series X like re-releases of these. But we've got Yakuza 6, which isn't on Series X now, so this one will probably stick around. Kiwami. This is the Steelbook, so I'll definitely be keeping that. But this here, I bought this because I thought, I mean, I like the collection. You know, it's what is it? 3, 4, and 5 on PS4. But 3 recently, it's got a Series X release that's coming out with Dark Ties. But I bought this when the show came out because I like the Yakuza series, even though I've only played Kiwami and Like a Dragon. But I wanted that when the show came out because I figured it would go like stupid expensive, but it did not. And now they're re-releasing them on Series X, and like I said, I'm an Xbox fan, so I would prefer them on Xbox. But there's my PS5 collection. If you didn't know, I am on the floor, and my knees hurt, so I'm just going to talk about it from here instead of sitting on my knees. But we've got... So I've got Gal Guardians. You know what? Fuck it. Y'all can't fucking see any of this, so I'll get my lazy ass up. You got Gal Guardians. I actually got a pretty good deal on this. I think it was like $24.99 at GameStop. It was like on sale. Let's see. It was $14.99 at GameStop, which is a fantastic deal. I also bought the last Game Informer, which isn't the last now, and Trials Fusion, because Game Informer came back. I would like to subscribe to the new Game Informer, but I have not done so. I also have Lost Records, Blood and Rage, or Bloom and Rage. This is still sealed because I have also the digital version on Xbox, but there isn't a physical version for Xbox, so I bought the PS5 copy. And then we've got another Neptunia game. This is Riders versus Dog Goose. I have heard that this isn't good, but I mean, a lot of the Neptunia games I really wouldn't consider, you know, like, great games. They are just fun, like, fan service stuff. And of course, we've got Returnal, which is yet again another game I have all of the trophies for. And then Stellar Blade, which I would like to get back to, but I am kind of hoping that they re-release it on Xbox. I will buy it again. And then we have Stray. That's basically my entire PS5 collection, but I rebought Stray because I didn't think my copy on Xbox had the art cards, but it did. But now I've got two, so, which isn't really that bad because I really liked Stray, so I don't mind having two copies of that game. But also there we've got the, what was it, the 30th anniversary PlayStation, the DualShock. And then on the very bottom shelf is the box for that Idolmasters. I've also got my Switch carrying case there because I just don't have anywhere else to put it. But yep, that's the, oh, there's also, I didn't even talk about PS3. So for PS3, I have the Biohazard HD. These are like the Wii, like, light gun games. I think that's the only way you can get it physically, the Japanese version. They are still on the PS3 store, but I wanted a physical copy, and it's probably going to play in English. Or, I mean, it's a light gun game, so I don't really think you need the story, but we've got Dragon Guard 3. I bought this because it's like a prequel to Nier, and I really liked Automata, so I wanted to check that out. There are a few videos on the channel of it. We've got Folk Soul, which, when the PS3 store was going to be shut down, that's one of the games that shot up in price. And since I didn't want to pay like $80 for it, I bought the Japanese version. And here is the K-On! Game again. K-On! Was the first anime I ever watched, so I wanted to have the games. They're okay. The PS3 version is basically the PSP version, just like upscaled. And then, so I bought this because I thought it was just interesting history. This was one of the first games that got announced as just like only multiplayer and had huge lobbies. And now I can't get rid of it because you can't play it anymore. This is the only Record of Agarist War on the PS2, or strictly for the PS3. And I've got the other two on 360, so I wanted to have this one. And then my most expensive PS3 game, which I found sealed, found at Electronics. It's Yakuza Dead Souls. Paid 100. Well, I had a credit. I paid like, I've got the receipt in here. Paid $79.67 for it. The lady asked me when I bought it if I was going to open it, and I told her yes. And it hurt her soul. But I intend to play it, so of course I'm going to open it. But next up we'll do Series X, since that's my next smallest. Then Xbox One, and then 360. You'll probably have to excuse the shakiness now. I am just standing and holding the camera. Now that these shelves are a little taller, we don't have to be so low. But so on the Series X shelf, I've got a topper here. This is the NCR Ranger statue from the Bethesda store that was released for was it the 10th anniversary of New Vegas? New Vegas is one of my favorite games, so I wanted to get that. But we've also got the Borderlands movie cup that they gave out at the theater showing. I thought the Borderlands movie was okay, but we've also got the Game of the Year poster framed there, so you could tell I'm a big Borderlands fan. But the actual games, you know, Series X really isn't anything too spectacular, so the games really aren't, you know, heavy hitters. But we've got The Binding of Isaac Repentance, which is something I wish I played over Trackmania Turbo for my 9th game for the difficulty challenge. Expedition 33, which I lucked out and they had a copy at GameStop in, I want to say, Grapevine that I went and got. I played maybe an hour of it. I need to actually play some more. Got the Clock Tower Rewind like I was talking about earlier. And then the Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, which apparently the Xbox One or the Series X version actually comes with the Phantom Liberty DLC on disc. I think this is like 4 discs. I think the PS5 version is like a download code. The Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, which I still have sealed because I'm planning on that for a different challenge, so I'll play it then. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is also still sealed because, again, it's going to be used for a challenge. Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, same thing. It's also on, all of my Series X games are on this like open-faced shelf. There's not any sides. I've got it in the corner here next to my closet, so it fit perfectly there, so I'm just using it for my Series X games since I don't have a lot of them. But down on the second shelf, we've got Outer Worlds 2, which was a Xbox game that wasn't supposed to get a physical release, but they walked that back and did release it physically, so I bought it. Silent Hill F, which I would actually like to start playing now that I'm done with Trackmania Turbo. The Ultima version of Space Marine 2, which this just came out, I don't know, sometime last month. And then this is pretty cool here. So I found this at GameStop near my work. This is the Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, but it's the Steelbook version. I think I paid the same price as just the normal version of Stalker 2. So I thought that was a pretty neat find. And then this copy of Starfield I found at a pawn shop, and they only wanted $8 for it. The seal's kind of torn on it, but $8 for a brand new game when GameStop was selling it for like $50 at that time wasn't too bad. And then, so I just learned about this, that the studio that made Recreation... So I just learned about this, the studio that made Recreation. They're actually, like, planning on becoming redundant. The Three Fields Entertainment, because not enough people bought this. I would actually like to give this a shot. It sucks when a, fresh studio makes a game and then nobody buys it. That's just unfortunate. But, so I'm going to pick up all my Series X games that fell down, and then we'll move on to Xbox One. So here we are at Xbox One. Not anything too, impressive on the Xbox One, but got the AI Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative that I would like to play. Uh, Fall, another game I'd like to play. Big Fallout fan, so want to play that. And then Atomic Heart is pretty much the same reason. But Atomic Heart, I have played this a little bit. I do not like the English voice acting in it. I wish, like, I tried putting it in Russian, but it also changes the subtitles to Russian. So I'd like to at least know what's going on. But we got the Back to the Future 30th anniversary. That I might go back and clean up the achievements I don't have. Got the BioShock collection, which I have all of the achievements for both BioShock 1 and 2 360 and this version. So that's cool. There is a video on the channel for the BioShock 2 achievements. And then this here, this is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I believe I said that right, yeah. This is the I Am 8-bit version that came with this cool sleeve. I didn't even know Bomb Rush Cyberpunk got a Xbox release. So when I found it on I Am 8-bit, I wanted to get it. Another game I'd like to play. And then of course we've got all of the Borderlands games. I've got the Game of the Year, which I thought this was the Xbox One version. It's just a re-release of the 360 version. And then the Handsome Jack collection with the slipcover. I have Borderlands 4 on the Series X. And then we've got the Steelbook version of 3. Oh, goodness. And then, so over here, I have, so Code Vein 2 is coming out next year. So I would like, because I played this originally on PS4, that was one of the games I traded in, was the PS4 version. It was actually pretty close to getting all the trophies on that, but I figure I'll go back and do a video on Code Vein here, and then when the second one comes out, I'll do a video on it. So to kind of commemorate the second one coming out, I'll go through and get all the achievements for that. We've got all of the Dark Souls games. We got Dark Souls Remastered 2, and then Dark Souls 3, the Fire Fades edition. Got Dead by Daylight. I was really into Dead by Daylight for a hot minute. And I originally planned to do a video where I get all of the Dead or Alive achievements. I've got a fair few of them on the Dead or Alive 5 360 version, but man, I don't know. I still have all of the video files for that, so that may still happen one of these days, but yeah, things kind of all took a hiatus when I started Trackmania Turbo. I guess, so this used to be like stupid expensive, but a coworker of mine actually gave me a bag of Xbox One games, and this was in it. And I thought it'd be kind of rude to just trade it in. It's only like 44 bucks on Xbox One, but would have been decent trade credit at Game Exchange, but I figured I'd just keep it. We've got Disco Elysium, which is probably one of my favorite Xbox One games. This game was fantastic. Excellent, like, CRPG. It is a game I would like to try and get all the achievements for, but that would, hell, I devoted too much of my time to Trackmania Turbo, so if I can do that for Turbo, I can do it for a game I actually like. We have Evil West, so I got this on my Game Exchange pilgrimage. I wish it was, you know, with the artwork, but that's fine. I would like actually to play that one as well. Nothing else really on that shelf. Over here, so this is, if I can grab it, oh goodness. So this is Haunted House, which Haunted House was an Atari game. As you can see, it's probably developed and published. Well, looks like it's developed by Orbit. I just thought it was kind of cool that they remade an old 2600 game in 3D. So I bought that, but unfortunately it has an unobtainable achievement, which really shouldn't stop me from playing it, but it does. Oh my god, that just ain't working. This one here, I don't know really how much, because this got delisted, so I don't really know how much that's worth. If anything, you know, it being an Xbox game, it probably is still not worth anything. But I got that because, again, I have an interest in playing it. LA Noire is one of my favorite 360 games. I really wish they'd make a sequel, but, you know, this one basically bankrupt. What was it? Team Bondi. So it probably won't ever get a sequel, but this is a fantastic game. I haven't played the Xbox One version, but I have all of the achievements in the 360 version. I got that at Target like a long time ago. And then we've got the Before the Storm. I think Christmas last year, I asked my brother for, because I didn't know this got a collector's edition, like the first Life is Strange. So I asked him to get me that for Christmas, but instead he ended up buying me just a sealed copy of the base game. I have since found the collector's edition and have that, but I traded in my open copy and kept the sealed one he gave me. So down here, really, we've got this is True Colors, which I think is a fantastic Life is Strange game. Where is my, hold on now. Oh, no. Oh, it's Series X, that's why. So, Double Exposure is over there. But again, we've got more Like a Dragon games. Got Infinite Wealth, which still have to play. Little Nightmares 3, which I would like to play. And then, so the only reason I bought this, so this is MLB The Show 22. It's got, what's his name, Sohei Ohtani or something like that. But just because of the anime-ass steelbook and slipcover. The only reason I wanted this. I thought that was pretty cool. And I think, I don't know if this is the first one, but as you can see, it's still PlayStation Studios. I don't know if that's the first one of the show to come to Xbox. We've got Monster High Skulltimate Secrets. The Monster High game on 360 is unironically an actually halfway decent game. So I bought that to, it's for a challenge, but I bought that because I wanted to play it. But we've got Neptunia Sisters vs. Sisters, which I have actually played. Nier Replicant, which is the remaster of the original Nier on 360. They updated the combat in this one to be more like Automata. I've played both versions and I still could not really get into either of them. It's the more fantasy style, but then we have Okami, which this used to just be like a Wii game, and then it got re-released on Xbox and PS4, and it is definitely a Nintendo-ass game. I tried it, I really don't know if it's for me. Another Christmas, actually I think this was for my birthday, so I told my cousin, I wanted the Persona 3 Portable that was released from Limited Run Games, and she bought me the Reload version. I was not wanting to buy this because Atlas said they weren't going to do the DLC, and then did the DLC but made people pay for it, as opposed to just releasing it all on the game. So I wasn't going to give them my money for that, but I ended up getting it for Christmas, so I guess whatever. Or birthday. It's either Christmas or birthday. We got Quake 2. This is the first Xbox game I bought from Limited Run. I bought it strictly because it was an Xbox release. As you can see, it's number 10. But I do intend to use that for a challenge in the future. We have Rage 2. I played this on PC when it originally came out. I do have intentions of doing a video on this and all the DLC. We have this. So, while I was at work, someone was throwing this away. It's a steelbook to Rainbow Six Siege. Apparently it came with like a collector's edition. It was like a I don't know, like a tactical backpack or whatever. And I think people were trying to sell this steelbook, at least at that time, for like hundreds of dollars. I don't know if it's actually worth that, but I kept it anyways. And then, because it didn't have a game in it when he was throwing it away, so I just bought a loose copy of Rainbow Six Siege for like $3. And this one's pretty cool. So this is probably like my coolest GameStop find. It's the Recore Definitive Edition, which is one of the more expensive games on Xbox One. I believe they only sold this in the Microsoft, like they had like an actual store. But it's got the DLC on the disc. They had it listed for the normal Recore price, which was like $5, but I think it's like a $60 game, so I thought that was a pretty neat find. I have played that. I've got all of the achievements in it. It's an okay little like action platformer. Then we have Remothered Tormented Fathers. I think I'm missing like 2 achievements in this. When this came out, it was like the first, I don't know, like half of the game is really good, but when I played this, the second half was just buggy as all get out. And then the story just stopped making sense, so I really wasn't into it. But Remothered Broken Porcelain, which when it released was probably even more buggy. I think I got that for like $6. And of course we've got the Resident Evil 2 remake, which before Village, this was my favorite Resident Evil game. Have intentions of going back and cleaning up all the achievements in that, as well as RE3. We've got 5, and then the gold edition of Resident Evil 7, which is another potential cleanup. And then Village, which doesn't need cleanup because I already have all the achievements. Really excited for Resident Evil Requiem. I actually took off a few days from work to play it, so cannot wait for that game. Down here we've got this cool Shining Resonance refrain like tin. That's all it is really, is just this tin. I've never seen anything like that, so I got that at GameStop. I thought that was pretty neat. I already had just the game for Resonance, but I traded my copy in after I bought this, because this is pretty darn cool. Slay the Spire, which is like, I'm hoping it's like, what is that card game? It's not Balatro. It's like a horror card game. It was on Game Pass. I really liked the card like roguelite roguelite mechanics of that, and then the second half became like this 8-bit adventure thing. I didn't really like the second half of the game, but I'm hoping Slay the Spire is like that. Soul Hackers 2, I started playing. It's a lot like Persona. I'll have to go back and play that some more. Stray, loved Stray, like I said, with the PS5 version. And sure enough, I still have the art cards, and mine are still sealed. I don't know why I didn't notice these were in here, but I have all of the achievements for Stray. Then we've got the System Shock remake, which is another one I would like to play. And then Tales of Iron. I actually confused this with, was it Steel Rats or something? But I have played this. I've got all the achievements. It's actually a pretty difficult, I'm not going to say it's like a Souls-like, but it is a difficult action game. But it was really cool. The guy that voices Geralt in The Witcher is the narrator in that, and it's got a cool aesthetic and story, and it's pretty fun. I did not know Tiny Tina's Wonderlands had a slipcover, so I actually bought this the other day at Game Over Video Games. There is a video on my Tiny Tina Wonderlands achievement, but I believe now I have all of the like slipcover variants of the Borderlands games for Xbox One and Series X, so that's cool. And then I'll just pull both of these out here. So this is the Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remaster, and the 4, 5, and 6. So this is the way that I have 1, 2, and 3. I do also have the 4, 5, and 6. I've got 4 and 5 on PlayStation, which is Chronicles and, was it Last Revelation? And then I used to have Angel of Darkness on PS2, but traded that in. And then of course we've got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which I have all of the achievements for. And then 3 and 4, which is still sealed, but I would like to play and try to get all of the achievements for. But having to like 100% all pros is insane. That is insane. But I mean, it probably isn't any worse than the grind from 1 and 2 to get to level 100, but and then for this last shelf, we've of course got probably my least favorite thing ever, Trackmania Turbo. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull that off because I have no intentions of continuing to keep that. Stay tuned when the difficulty video is finished and I'll explain more. Something else cool. So I found this at Entertainmart in Longview. It's Transformers Devastation. It's sealed. At the time it was going for like $60, but they only had it marked at like 20. So I went ahead and grabbed that. And then that's actually wrong. It goes there. We've got Unicorn Overlord, which is a game I would also like to play. Again, it'll be used for a challenge. Vampire, a Don't Nod game that I would like to go back and clean up on. I didn't really care for it much when I originally played for it on Game Pass, but it's probably good cleanup. We've got something that I didn't think would ever exist, Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo on Xbox. Probably one of my favorite games that I also have a burning disdain for, Wanted Dead. I also have the Steelbook for it, which is actually a pretty cool Steelbook. It's pink, got bullet holes in it, and then got, damn, what the hell is her name? Lead character's tattoo. It's on her back. We also have Wasteland 2, which I have also played and got all the achievements for. Another great CRPG. We've got Wasteland 3 as well. Would like to give that a play since I played Wasteland 2. And then we've got the Yakuza Like a Dragon Steelbook, which is a pretty neat steelbook. Like a Dragon is my favorite Yakuza game, which is also, like, I'm a terrible person for not playing any of, like, Infinite Wealth and Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I need to get on that. Alright, so last is the biggin. 360. And then I'll probably go around and do all my collectibles. But here we are at 360. So I am trying to go for a full 360 set. Another reason I wanted to make this video is I am like a little over the halfway point. I've currently got 625 360 games, and from my research I've come to the conclusion that there's 1,200 games, give or take. The Excel spreadsheet I'm using lists a lot of games twice. Like if the game had a complete edition, it'll list the normal version of the game and the complete version. My way of going about it is I don't care which version I get. I'm going to mark that I have that game. So if I get the complete version, like say Naughty Bear, the Gold Edition, which comes with the DLC, then I'm marking Naughty Bear off, and I'm not going to worry about getting the normal version, because that's just asinine. Like, if you've already got the main version, then why get the other one? But that is to say, the other way, if I have the normal version and it's like significantly cheaper, like Naughty Bear, the Gold Edition is like $30, and for whatever reason the base edition is $20 now. So that was only like a $10 difference. So I didn't mind going for the Gold Edition, but I'm trying to think of a game where it's like, so like Ninja Gaiden 3, they have a Razor's Edge version, which is also, so like Ninja Gaiden 3, they have a Razor's Edge version. The base version, I paid $10 for, and then the Razor's Edge version is like $30 to $40. And I couldn't just, especially if I already have it. I already had Ninja Gaiden 3, so I'm not going to worry about getting the Razor's Edge version. I don't even think the full 1,000 gamer score is still obtainable. Plus, I believe it's on Game Pass. So, like Street Fighter 4, there are like 4 versions of this game. There's like Street Fighter 4 Ultimate, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and then some other version of it. I'm not going to worry about getting all the versions of Street Fighter. The base Street Fighter 4 was the cheapest, so I just bought that. Especially if it's a game that I have like the least amount of interest in. With it being a fighting game, I have no intentions to even actually play that. I guess I'll go through and I'll grab a few of the like heavy hitters, which, you know, I have a fair few of them. So these aren't like the most expensive games on the 360, but you know, they're nothing to scoff at. So we've got Armored Core 4 Answer, and then Armored Core Verdict Day. I found these on the Game Exchange Pilgrimage, which was pretty cool. I think those are like, I don't know, $40 to $60, I think. And then for stuff like this, so the Assassin's Creed, which is another series I have zero interest in, to save shelf space, so I've got the Americas collection as well as the Ezio trilogy, because it's all, this one is only 3 and 4 in the case, and it was a download code for Liberation. But this is 2 Brotherhood and Revelations all in one thing. So as opposed to having as opposed to having 5 different games on the shelf, I thought this was the best way to go about it. And then this one was a really cool find. I found this at the Bay City, or Baytown Game Exchange. This is Autobahn Polizzi, one of the more expensive games for 360. I paid $80 for it. It has since gone down a little in value, but I had never even seen this in person, so I grabbed it while I was there. We of course got Blur, which used to be like a $1 bin game, and now it's like $30. I thought it was okay. I'm not really into kart racers when it comes to racing games. I prefer the more like realistic style, like a racing sim. For whatever reason, this game's pretty pricey on 360. It's Captain America Super Soldier. It's like a $30 game. Looks like it has easy achievements, so I'll probably give that a shot one day. And then we've got this one, which recently got delisted. It's Condemned Criminal Origins. So this one's going up a little in value. I think I paid $8 for this at Classic Games Fest. Oh, this one isn't very exciting, but we got College Hoops 2K8, which is, I guess, the last College Hoops game that came out on 360. So it was pretty expensive there for a little bit, but it's since come down drastically. And then we got Concept Saga, which used to be one of the most expensive games on 360. Again, it's also come down. I paid $80 for it at Arkansas Retro Expo. I have it in this like plastic container, not because it's an expensive 360 game, but because I got Arkansas Picker to sign it. So I decided to put it in a protective case. But yeah, I was actually trying to get RNG Gamer to sign it as too. I was also trying to get RNG Gamer to sign it as well, but right when I walked up to him to ask him for an autograph, he started doing a video with Saturn Steve, so I didn't want to be that guy standing in the background waiting for RNG Gamer to get an autograph, so I just... maybe next time. Darkest of Days, which is a terrible game, but easy gamer score, but also expensive. And this was also a pretty cool find. So I found this. At the Tyler Game Exchange. It's Deadfall Adventures, the Collector's Edition. According to CLZ, it's like a $60 version of the game, but they had it listed for the normal game's price, so that was a pretty cool pickup. This is the most expensive game I own on 360. It is El Chavo Kart. So this was only released in Mexico. El Chavo is like an animated show there. I believe it's like I think it goes for like 100 something, but there was a bid on eBay. I think it started out at like, I don't know, when I found it, it was at like $6. I put my max bid as $80 for it, because with like shipping it probably would have evened out, and I think I ended up paying $78 for this. So still a lot of money, but compared to the $100 price tag it has, pretty good deal. Anything? So here's another pretty pricey game for the 360, Knight's Contract. I don't even think it's an Atlas game. I don't know why this one begs like its high price. I think it goes for like maybe $60, which is what it was selling as new. I found this at Game Exchange, I think, for like $24.99, or not Game Exchange, GameStop for $24.99. So pick that up. Let me see if I'm lying out my ass. Oh, it was $37.99. Sorry, it's $37.99, which still was a pretty decent deal. So I grabbed that. I've since seen this a few places, but this is Infernal Hell's Vengeance, which I found this at Game Exchange in Oklahoma. It was the Lawton, Oklahoma location. But yeah, Infernal Hell's Vengeance. I've since seen this other places, but at the time of finding this, I hadn't seen it anywhere. Actually, I guess we'll get to it now. So another heavy hitter on the 360. We got Operation Darkness, which I found at that same Game Exchange. I didn't have the money at the time. I think they wanted like $99 for this. And I was there for work. So when I was going to Arkansas Retro Expo, I went up into Oklahoma and stopped by here. I took some stuff to trade in, and I ended up paying $78 for it. So not too bad, but yeah, something I haven't seen this since finding it. So that was a pretty good find. And then we've got, this one's not too pricey, but again, another game that I've just never seen. It's Raiden Fighters Aces. Found this at GameStop for, I paid $42.74 for it. So still pretty pricey, but just something that I never see, so I went ahead and grabbed it. And then this one's pretty cool. Again, not expensive. I paid $10 for it, but it's the Steelbook version of Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I just think that's really neat. I like the black and white and red on that. And then this one was a pretty cool Facebook Marketplace find. I have a video on me buying the lot of games that this was in. Peter Jackson's King Kong, probably like the, next to Avatar, Last Airbender, Burning Earth. This is the Achievement Hunter game. Also got on the Game Exchange Pilgrimage. I thought I'd actually already owned Tomb Raider for the 360. I own the definitive version, but I didn't actually own this, so glad I actually bought it. Because I was hemming and hawing on it, thinking I already had it, and it's like, no sense in spending money on something I already own, but it comes with the art book. Yeah, pretty cool. There's actually, I think, like, a few other, like, collector's versions. One of them is, like a survival kit that this will come in, like a tin kit, which I thought that was pretty cool, but I think this is a pretty neat version of it. What do we got on the last shelf? We've of course got the Transformers games, which they've come down a lot in price. You know, all the stuff that everybody always talks about, like the Spider-Man games or the fucking Transformers games. I mean, I think I'm missing like 2 Transformers games. I'm missing Fall of Cybertron and, because I have Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen. It's one of the other movie ones. I can't remember, but I'm missing 2 of them. Yeah, that's that. So I guess I'll go around and show a lot of my collectibles now. So we'll start over here. Excuse these little things. It was for the shelf here. I just haven't found anywhere to put them. And this here is a loose copy of Sonic what the hell? All Stars Racing Transformed. The the copy I have actually had 2 versions of this, probably because the kid scratched this one up. So the parent bought him another one, but I figure I'd hold on to that and I can like boost achievements in it. We've got the Rock Band 4 Legacy adapter. This is actually the Peggy version. It was like $100 cheaper than the North American version. I don't know if that's come down since, but it used to be like $300 to get that adapter. But since they started making new instruments for Rock Band, I don't know if that's still that expensive. But we've got the U-Draw tablet, which I think I got for like $5 at Half Price Books, which I thought that was a pretty good deal. So if I want to play any of the U-Draw games, I've got the tablet. This, I've never seen this. This came in a Facebook Marketplace a lot that I bought. So I held on to that. Got the Def Jam Rap Star with the mic and the game. Got that at Dollar General while on the Game Exchange pilgrimage. And then this is just a sealed battery pack. I think somebody was throwing it away at work, so I nabbed it. And then over here, I guess I can show my posters and stuff too. So here we've got a framed Game Informer of Rage 2, the Sinuous Sacrifice, and then this here is a t-shirt I bought at RTX, I don't know what year, but I got Gus to sign it, Michael, yeah, there's Michael Jones's signature, that's Jeff, that's Brandon. And then, I'm not really sure whose signature that is. Or this one. But, I know when I went to get, like, Michael's and Jeff's, someone was sitting next to him, and I don't know, I was a little shit. I only wanted Michael and Jeff's. But one of these other people signed it too. Like they were about to sign it. I was like, oh, no, I only wanted Michael and Jeff's, and I then felt bad because, understandably, that was really rude of me. So I also let them sign it. I was like, oh, if you want to sign it, you can. Over here we've got a. So, I think it was Kale was talking about like a company that will frame your games and stuff, but it was like $100 to get them to frame a game for you. So I just went to Hobby Lobby, and this is like a CD frame where you put your album art and the CD in it. So I just bought that, and I bought another copy of Callisto Protocol because it is actually, unironically, one of my favorite games. That's probably one of my proudest full completions on Xbox is Callisto. But I bought the Day 1 edition. It was sealed. I think I paid $10 for it. Unsealed it, put the artwork in there and the disc, and I made my own game frame. But then we got a Bioshock 2 lithographic poster. I used to also have a Bioshock 1 like release poster as well as like a collage poster. I don't have those anymore. And then we've got the Callisto Protocol framed Game Informer. This is Cuisinanier for Xbox Series X. I bought this from GameStop. It was supposed to be new, but when I open it, it doesn't actually have the game case in it. It's just a loose disc in like a sleeve, which I'm just going to keep it like that, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But then we've got the art book that came with the steelbook for Wanted Dead, and then of course the Baldur's Gate 3 Collector's Edition. This here is my Game Exchange map. I actually want to get it framed, and then this shelf that all of this is sitting on is a shelf. My cousin and I cut a bunch of pictures out of like anime magazines and stuff and made a collage on it. It's collaged on all sides, but obviously you can only see the top. And then up here, I didn't mention it earlier, but when I did the crazy random achievement bash, I had to go and buy these like Disney Infinity things to get achievements, but I got a Buzz Lightyear and a Phineas. I've also got the Doom Dark Ages controller there, still sealed. I know, I'm scummy. Dead Space 2 Collector's Edition, which is one of the first. This is actually the PC version, one of the first Collector's Editions I ever bought. It does still have the plasma cutter. I don't have the art card that came with it. I used to have that hanging on my wall, but it has since vanished. Got the Coco Bandicoot. I don't even know what the hell this is, but yeah, when I was a kid, Coco, you didn't really see a lot of her unless it was Crash 2, and you finally got to play as her in 3. I think she was also in Crash Bash and CTR, but had to get that. And then there's the collector's edition for Kandagawa Jet Girls. The only reason I bought that is because it came with the OVA for the anime. I played a little bit of the game, but I actually completed it. It's one of the games I have on Steam that I have all the achievements for. Then we've got the Doom Anthology for PS4. Comes with the BFG. The only reason I have that is it was coming bundled on, was it Antlion or Ant Online or whatever that website is. It came bundled with the 30th anniversary PS5 controller. So I got that. I would have preferred to have it on Xbox, but whatever. And then the Life is Strange, Rachel and Chloe figures that were like, I don't know, little goodies you got if you pre-ordered it from GameStop. I went in and bought the game, and it had to have been a while after the game actually came out, but a GameStop employee just gave me those, so. And this here is When They Cry. It's the collector's edition on PlayStation 2. Really the only like PS2 game I still have, because I bought that while I was in Japan for like 500 yen. Probably the most expensive 3DS game I own, Corpse Party. The Psycho and Ayumi figures are still in there, but they don't stay on their stand, which is why they're in the box. Because I bought that when it released on 3DS, because I used to love watching PewDiePie play it, so I didn't have a computer at the time, so I bought the 3DS version, and that's the way I played it. And apparently it's like $130 now. We got Fallout New Vegas Collector's Edition, which is, on my CLZ app, it's the most expensive thing I own for 360, but it's a Collector's Edition, so I don't really count it. And then the Life is Strange Before the Storm Collector's Edition. I only bought it because of the soundtrack. I love the soundtracks in the Life is Strange games. Even 2, even though the game sucks, it does still have a good soundtrack. But that collector's edition is like $400. So I'll probably never own the Life is Strange 2 collector's edition. Over here, we've got the Coca-Cola Oreos. I actually really liked the Oreo Coke. And the Oreos themselves are good, the Coke Oreos. We were in College Station sometime, I don't know, a few months ago, and they still had some of these. So I bought 2 of them, ate one, and I kept that one. We've got Killer is Dead Collector's Edition, the Mafia 3 Collector's Edition, which has both albums in it. I used to have the Bioshock Infinite Collector's Edition, which came with the Songbird statue and this for like the board game. I went without work for, I don't know, like a month, so I sold off the statue. Got the Elizabeth pop figure. I'm not really big into Pops, but I like Bioshock. Got the Back for Blood. It's not even really a collector's edition. All that's in there is just a base copy of the game and a pack of playing cards. Got the Callisto Protocol statue. Have a little sister figure as well as a Big Daddy doll and an original Zune. Got the Bloodstained Ritual of the Night soundtrack. One of my favorite, underrated games for the Xbox One. Really excited for Bloodstained 2. Cannot freaking wait. The special edition of Bioshock 2. The album is also in there. I had to re-buy the 3 posters it came with. Because again, I had those hanging on my wall as a kid and they vanished. And then the Life is Strange limited edition. Here is just a collection of steelbooks. I really like this Wolfenstein 2 one, as well as the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered one. Got the Persona 5 steelbook. I do not even know. This is a light up Nagatoro sign. I don't even know what I did with the remote to that. Whenever I did videos in here, I would turn that on and it'd be in the background. Got the Lego DC Supervillains. I'm not a big Lego fan, but I like Harley Quinn, and she's on the cover there. As you can tell, I like Harley Quinn. I forgot to even mention that. I got that at the Red Barn in Waxahachie, which is like an indoor flea market. Thought that was a cool find. The Life is Strange Double Exposure Steelbook, which came if you pre-ordered the game through GameStop. We've already talked about the Wanted Dead one. This here, so this is, if I ever got, Game Boy Advances or the 3DS, or not 3DS, Nintendo DS that had the Game Boy Advance slot. I used that to test them to make sure they work. I bought an extra copy of Test Drive Solar Crown to boost achievements. This is a Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray that came in a lot. This Mario Kart pin, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with that. This I need to throw away. These are trade-ins, and below this is the casting of Frank Stone Game Informer, which I need to get a frame to hang up. And then over here I have a framed Saints Row the Third Game Informer. On this shelf is a lot of the PlayStation collector's editions. Got the AI Somnium files. This came when I pre-ordered Akiba's Beat. I kept the Peacoon. I think that's what his name is. Because I thought he was cute. But the game was trash. So I have since sold that. This is a band from Video Games Monthly that I used to be subscribed to. This is a Game Dave Digitally Distracted armband. Up there is the, I don't know, Made something or other PS4 game that I think I got off of AmiAmi. We got the Anima Gate of Memories Collector's Edition. The Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. Or no, that one's Hellbound and Debriefed. Undead and Undressed is the other version. And then you can't see it back there, but that's the Peach Beach Splash Collector's Edition, as well as the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remaster. We've got the Clock Tower Rewind, was it Super Deluxe version I also bought off of AmiAmi. The Danganronpa 2 Collector's Edition for PSP, also got that in Japan. The Shantae A Risky Revolution Game Boy Advance Collector's Edition from Limited Run, which really wasn't worth the money. And the Lara Croft Temple of Osiris Gold Edition. That is still sealed. I think Temple of Osiris, unless you get the Limited Run games that released on the Switch, which I am kind of considering doing, because like I said, I was trying to get all of the Tomb Raider games. Guardian of the Light, that's the only way you can get Guardian of the Light physically, is with that limited run Switch release. And then we've, of course, got the box that the Callisto Protocol statue came in. That does still have the Steelbook in it. So, there's that. Over here, we have a framed copy of the Mad Max Game Informer, as well as an old GameStop poster that I got with my power-up rewards points a long time ago that I have framed. That was my game room. Again, like I said, it's kind of a small one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am hoping to get back on a more, frequent upload schedule now that Trackmania Turbo's done. I put my major focus into Trackmania Turbo because it is quite a skill-intensive game, and I didn't want to take a break from it and then come back and just struggle for hours. I struggled enough. So I kind of put a hold on everything else, and there are tons of games I want to play. I want to get back on Rock Band 1, get that done. Because apparently the Rock Band videos are my best performing ones, so I'd like to get back on that. Achievement Hunters. But yeah, let's look forward to a good 2026. Hopefully I can get back on a more decent upload schedule, and I hope you guys stick around for that. If you did enjoy, consider subscribing if you're new, if this is the first video the algorithm recommends to you. I do more achievement hunting videos, so like full completions, stuff like that. Occasionally a trophy video when, was it Sonas, the spiritual successor to Returnal. Do intend to get that and do trophy hunters in that. I got the Code Vein one I want to do, Rock Band 1, tons of ideas in the pipeline, just have to get the wherewithal to actually do it. But I also will occasionally do collection update videos, so if that's something you're into too, again, consider subscribing. If there are any games here that you would like me to play that you saw in the video, leave them in the comments down below, or any games that you think I should pick up. Again, I'm going for a full 360 set, so more than likely, if it's on 360 down the road, I'm going to be getting it. But other than that, leave a like and check back next time for whatever I do. Bye-bye!